This is Spectrum Television News at 12, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. I am Uyai Imam. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu returns after Japan-Brazil trips. Akwa Ibom State monthly environmental sanitation exercise to hold on Saturday with full restriction of movement. Plus, 3 children among 14 killed in major Russian attack in Kiev. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. We begin this afternoon from the national scene where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned to Abuja around 1:20 a.m. on Thursday after concluding a 3-day state visit to Brazil that yielded a raft of bilateral agreements and high-level engagements aimed at deepening Nigeria's economic and diplomatic ties with South America's largest economy. The president, who arrived aboard the presidential jet, was received at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by a high-powered delegation of political leaders and senior government officials. Among those present were Governors Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau, Uber Sani of Kaduna, Hope Uzodinma described the rapid growth of the nation's capital market a reflection of investor confidence in his administration's reforms. The president made the remarks in Brasilia, Brazil, when he received the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Dr. Agama, and the Board of Directors of the Nigerian Exchange Group, PLC, NGX. Tinubu noted that market capitalization and trading have witnessed a phenomenal expansion since he assumed office, creating local and international investors. In a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy by America, the president said Nigeria's market must be a trusted engine of enterprise and prosperity. He praised the NGX board and SEC leadership for their commitment to strengthening the financial ecosystem and pledged continued support for capital market reforms under his renewed agenda. Away from that, the federal government has secured $14 million funding for digital innovation to be established in Abuja from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, GCA. The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIPDA, Kashifu Inowa, who disclosed this in Abuja, said the government would also support the initiative with about $20 million from the Nigeria 17 Wealth Investment Fund. Inowa further stated that Nigeria is set to take its economy around with the power of technological innovations and revolution by taking advantage of the 4th Industrial Revolution, which revolves around digital innovations and inventions. He praised President Bola Tinubu for anchoring its renewed hope agenda and digital innovations and technology to promote financial inclusion, agriculture, education, social investment, health security, and improved infrastructure, amongst others. Asuu to resume talks over strike. The federal government has said it will meet with the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities today to continue discussions and avert disruption in academic activities across public universities. The Director of Press and Public Relations in the Federal Ministry of Education, Wariwo Folashade, confirmed this to Newsman. He said the engagement reflects the ministry's commitment to constructive dialogue and collaboration in addressing key issues in Nigeria's university system. Recall that the union had threatened to embark on a strike today unless the government took immediate steps to address their demands. On Tuesday, branches of Asuu across the country staged a protest to draw the attention of the government to its demands. In a separate development, the House of Representatives Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility (CSR) has expressed concern over the exclusion of millions of Nigerian youths from the digital economy, citing limited access to skills, technology, and opportunities essential in the modern world. Speaking at a diplomatic CSR roundtable in Abuja, organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the committee's vice chairman Afolabi Afope called for coordinated efforts among stakeholders to bridge the gap. According to him, the 21st century has shown that no nation, sector, or community can thrive in isolation, noting that challenges such as digital exclusion, poverty, climate change, and social integration required bold, collaborative, and forward-looking solutions. He added that with proper harness, CSR can bridge the digital divide, drive sustainable development in communities, and build trust between nations. Back in the home front, the Akwa Ibom State Government has announced that the statewide monthly environmental sanitation exercise will hold on Saturday, the 30th of August 2025 from the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. In a release signed by the Commissioner for Information and Yakanumana, there will be full restriction of movement of persons and vehicles except those on essential duties of public interest. According to the release, the restriction is aimed at ensuring maximum participation in the exercise and sustaining Akwa Ibom State as Nigeria's cleanest state. It will also provide an environment for responsible agencies and personnel to effectively carry out the sanitation duties. The state government further directed community leaders, stakeholders, and residents to mobilize their communities for active participation in collaboration with the Akwa Ibom State Environmental Protection and Waste Management Agency. On the continent of Africa, Africa is stepping up efforts to tackle cholera with the launch of a new continental emergency preparedness and response plan. This comes as Sudan battles a sharp surge in infections, recording over 1,000 new cases in just 1 week. The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in partnership with the World Health Organization, has unveiled a continental cholera emergency preparedness and response plan in Lusaka, Zambia. The plan aims to strengthen early detection systems, rapid response capacity, and cross-border cooperation as the continent faces recurrent outbreaks often fueled by climate shocks and fragile health systems. And on the foreign scene, 3 children are among at least 14 people killed in Russian strikes in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, officials have reported. Timur Tikanko, the head of Kyiv's military administration, says the children were aged 2, 14, and 17. Dozens more are injured, according to President Volodymyr Zelensky, who accuses Moscow of choosing ballistics instead of the negotiating table. Meanwhile, Ukraine's armed forces report hitting an oil refinery in Russia's southern Krasnodar region. Moscow says it intercepted 102 Ukrainian drones overnight. A Ukraine delegation is due to meet U.S. officials in New York on Friday to discuss ending the war with Russia. In the Asia-Pacific region, China's foreign ministry has said that North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un will attend a military parade in Beijing next week alongside Russia's Vladimir Putin. This comes days after U.S. President Donald Trump said he wanted to meet Kim, who rarely makes foreign visits, and as the White House tries to broker a deal to end the war in Ukraine. China's Victory Day parade on September the 3rd will mark the 80th anniversary of Japan's formal surrender in World War II and the end of the conflict. The event now signals a key diplomatic win for Chinese leader Xi Jinping, who has been pushing for a new world order led by Beijing. Still to come in the news. Sabalenka continues tie-break success in US Open win. Stay tuned for details of these in a moment. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. To conclude the news this hour, in business, the federal government has committed to exploring strategies for implementing the new national industrial policy to scale industries and transform West Africa's economic future alongside manufacturing stakeholders at an upcoming summit. The collaboration will take center stage at the West Africa Industrialization, Manufacturing and Trade Summit and Exhibition 2025, scheduled for October 2025 in Lagos. The Minister of State for Industry, John Enoh, at a press conference in Lagos, declared that Nigeria will build its industrial policy on past executive orders targeted at promoting local content, but with a stronger push through the Nigeria First policy. Enoh noted that the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment would follow up on the policy with a nationwide campaign to promote patronage of Nigerian goods and services. Still in business, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henikon Lokbobere, has reportedly refused to approve the extension of over 50 expired oil licenses currently on his table. Lokbobere stated that over 60 licenses were awarded in a marginal bid round that took place a few years ago. However, he regretted that fewer than 6 of them have invested in the assets since they were given to them. Speaking recently at the Pengassan Energy and Labour Summit in Abuja, the oil minister said the licensees are currently on his table seeking extensions. Okpobiri said the country needs every available well to produce daily to meet both local and international demands. According to him, renewing the licenses is like impoverishing the holders, who he said go about wasting scarce resources to attend conferences. On our health news, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Uzaf, has warned that Nigeria's development progress will remain incomplete unless every citizen has access to safe water. Speaking at the launch of the Asuu Water Quality Advocacy Campaign in Abuja, Uzaf, represented by the Ministry's Director of Water Quality Control and Sanitation, Elizabeth Ugo, commended the company for its initiative, saying it aligns with government efforts to provide clean and sustainable water. The minister highlighted government's initiatives, including the Nigerian Roadmap for Water Quality Management, establishment of 12 national water quality reference laboratories, the monitoring of rivers and open water bodies, freshwater restoration, and community-based water safety plans. He stressed that ensuring safe water requires collaboration among the government, the private sector, civil society, and development partners. Now to sports. The second round of the English Football League Cup produced an exit for Manchester United, who lost in the penalties to League Two side Grimsby Town, while Fulham secured a routine victory over Bristol City. At the Blundell Park, Manchester United were held to a 2-2 draw by Grimsby before losing 12-11 on penalties in a shootout. The hosts, currently competing in English football's fourth tier, stunned the Premier League's giants by racing into a two-goal lead through strikes from Burns and Waring. Both sides converted their first 11 penalties, including efforts from goalkeepers James Peam and Andre Onana, before Grimsby. Burns scored his second of the shootout, and summer signing Mwembo, under immense pressure to keep United alive, struck the crossbar. Still in sports, defending champion Arina Sabalenka set the platform for a US Open second round victory over Polina Kudryavtseva by continuing her formidable tiebreak record. Sabalenka, 27, claimed her 17th consecutive tiebreak in a 7-6, 7-4, 6-2 win in Wednesday's night session in New York, being able to lock in when it might have proved crucial once again for the world number one, who has won 10 of her past 11 matches when winning a first set tiebreak. And on that entertainment news, the All Africa Music Awards (AFRIMA) has unveiled its 2025 nominees, a list that features some of the continent's biggest talents. Nigeria's Burna Boy and Davido both secured 5 nominations each. Burna Boy's album No Sign of Weakness and Davido's 5 were both nominated for Album of the Year, while their hit singles also earned them spots in Song of the Year and Best Collaboration. Nigeria's fast-rising street pop sensation Charlie Poppy also stood tall with 4 nominations, including Artist of the Year and Song of the Year for his collaboration Lahon. His compatriot Rema also emerged with 3 nominations, including Artist of the Year and Best Male in West Africa. Meanwhile, Ayra Starr has 2 nominations, but she's contesting for the Artist of the Year award with big stars, including Davido, Burna Boy, and El Grande Toto. A statement by the organizers said public voting will open globally on September the 10th, 2025 via the official AFRIMA website at www.afrima.org. And that's all we have on this news bulletin. Do well to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, SpectrumTVLive.ng. This has been Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Eman. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.